What's up, fam? Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk About It with Reggie J. Well, fam, this is a special edition. I've been looking at the news and I see that we're living in peerless times, and I just wonder sometime about us as a people, as a unit, because we act like we don't see the subjective reality of what's happening in America. Let me give you an example. On this particular subject, I'm going to be talking to all the African Americans who live in America who are at least age 35. I'm talking about you work in America, you got a house, you got a car, you're on the bus line, you got an apartment, but you was born and raised right here in America. You know how this system works. You know how this certain democracy works. You know what white supremacy is. You might not call it by that name. You know what racism is because you didn't experience. You might not call it by that name. You know what injustice is because they show it to you on the news every day. You know what inequality is. I'm talking about the ones who we came up in America. We didn't experience certain things. We know this. We know there's no such thing as inequality or equality. Right? What I don't understand is, in the midst of all this, now we're in the pandemic. Hey, just in New York City, they laid off 14,000 nurses because they wouldn't take the vaccination. Down in LA, they laid off 17,000. 17,000. Huh? So I'm talking about the living in this. What I don't understand is, why do we treat each other like we treat each other? In the midst of racism, discrimination, and injustice. In the midst of white supremacy. In the midst of injustice. And we still have a problem with one another. I don't understand it. On Sundays, don't nobody go to church more than us. No, and you got a church, two churches on every corner in the black community. All type of denominations. Everybody say, I love God, I love Jesus. But look how we treat one another. Look at, where do the hatred and the envy come from when it comes to your brother or your sister? Huh? You going through hell, living in hell, putting up with hell every day, but yet we refuse to do what God told us to do. It's simple. Love ye one another. Oh, I know you're going to have problems. You're going to have misunderstandings. But I'm talking about in here. In the soul. That real love. Because any brothers and sisters, you're going to have disagreements. That's why they call brothers and sisters. That's a part of life. But I'm talking about, why do we treat each other so bad? Why do we do each other so bad? And, now I'm getting a better understanding through these podcasts that it's a whole bunch of us don't know who we are. That's why we act like we act. Huh? We have no idea. We have no understanding of how that Bible really pertains to us. Why do you think they kept the Bible from me for 300 years? Huh? 90% of the Bible is talking about you. Look at the region where the Bible is talking about. They're black folks. We don't think that God has an interest in us. We don't think, we just living for the city. We just living. We don't think on a spiritual level, what's my purpose in life? Where did I come from? I had to come from somewhere else because they told me my forefathers was in bondage. He was in slavery for 300 and some years. So I want to know the essence of it. Where am I in that Bible? Because I was taught when I went to church 3, 4 times a week that Genesis is the start of mankind and Revelations is the end or a new world. So we have got to be somewhere in that Bible according to Scripture. So if we knew who we are, would we treat each other better? If we knew who we are, would we love one another better? So you can't help nobody until you help yourself. The first law of nature is self-preservation. That's why I'm talking like this. You can't talk about, I love everybody. How you love everybody you don't love yourself? How I know? Because we have no unity. Huh? We don't even know we are God's chosen people. Man, do you know that Houston, Texas have set a record for murders? The state of Florida set a record for murders. I'm talking about all-time record for that state. I mean, what is everybody? Seems like the pandemic got everybody going crazy. So now people are killing and robbing, and we're doing it to ourselves. I ain't worried about nobody else. I'm talking about us. Huh? Let's practice love ye one another. See, when you love, you can't have no envy and hatred in your heart. You might have a misunderstanding, but after y'all sit down as men or y'all sit down as women, then you let that go. You don't let that linger. Look how we treat each other. I'm talking about take a look at the man in the mirror and ask yourself, am I thinking right? Am I living right? Am I treat my brothers and sisters right? Huh? Boy, if we ever wake up, I guess that's what the Bible meant when he said he left the children of Israel just wandering in the wilderness for 40 years. That old mentality. Some of us are so systematically programmed. It's unbelievable we can't think out the box. Well, I always thought, I guess because I came up in the church and my mama was a dictator, we had to go to church 5 times a week. From the time I knew who I was to the time I got out of college. I left the house. So maybe I think like this because I come up in the church. I don't know. But I always thought about what's my purpose? Why was my people? I mean, just it ought to be common sense or common knowledge. Why were we put in slavery? Why, God, why you let them do us like that? Why do I have to worry about racism? Why do I have to worry about white supremacy? Why do I have to worry about injustice? Why do I have to keep reading the paper and seeing on TV where another cop killed another brother with his hands up? Why do I have to even worry about if the cop stopped me, I might not make it home? These are the things that any black man or black woman should ask themselves. So if I can't get the answer from God, who died? We ain't got it. We don't have the answer because it's still happening. Just happened the other day. That's all I'm saying, black man, black woman. We already was born behind the 8 ball. Get education. I see that why my mom has just pounded that from the time I was 6, 7 years old. You got to go to college. You got to go to college. I ain't know nothing about no college. Look, I'm the last of 10. So all of them got college degrees. I knew when high school was over, it wasn't over, but I understand now. Because, man, a black man in America without a college degree, you better know somebody. Huh? You better have a plan. Because no matter how you look at it, you're going to be behind the 8 ball. I want to give y'all a thought. This is like a compliment at the same time I just want you to think about it. There's more black women in America who are educated, who got their own houses and they got their own cars that make more money than the black man. All over America. You can't dispute me. Look it up. You know why? You get an educated black woman. And I got 6 sisters, and they all educated, except for one. But look, you get an educated black woman. You put her in corporate America. Now, you know what that means? They killed 2 birds with 1 stone. They hired a black, they hired a woman. Knocks the man plumb out. See, they don't want to. They're intimidated by us. When you talking about white supremacy in corporate America, talking about getting good jobs and moving up the corporate ladder and all that, what they tell you, that limbo jumbo they tell you in the schools. But guess what? They'll put her up there because they want to see them round, them big legs and them little waists and them round boots. They want to look at that. And she ain't no threat to them. I'm not telling you something that I don't know. I didn't study this. I did a report on this. You can look it up for yourself. It is more black women in America who got their own house, own job, $100,000 job, $75,000 job, own car, and is single and living by herself than it is black men. They got good jobs, make $100,000, $70,000, whatever, own homes, and own